We're just a few days away from ballots needing to be turned in order for them to count. And we want everybody that's out there that's thinking about voting to make sure that they get them in. Joining me right now by teams is Monique DeSpain. She is running for the 4th District congressional seat. And just a few days left. What are some of the things that you want voters to know before they finish casting their ballot, for those that have not yet cast?
Well, good morning, George. It's good to be back. Look, I want voters to know that elections are about choice and contrast. And in our 4th District in Oregon, this election's about necessary change because we get the government we elect. And right now, we're not getting what we need from our current Congresswoman Val Hoyle. We don't have someone standing up for us, being a voice for Oregon's 4th District in Washington, D.C. And so if you're fed up with what you're seeing in your communities regarding public safety, the economy, our unaffordable economies in our local communities, and the cost of living, and a government that just doesn't seem to listen at all and is not transparent, then I'm your candidate. And the only way we change things is if you vote for me for your federal representative.
What are some of the key points that you see? You did mention, sort of affordable housing, jobs, and things like that. Talk a little bit about some of the key issues and a little bit in depth there.
Well, on the economy, there's no reason that the 4th District should be suffering the way that it is and has been for years. We have amazing natural resources. Our unmanaged federal forests are burning instead of providing the resources that they used to through responsible management. The housing shortage is complex, of course, but we need to get government out of the way and enable builders and investors and people who want to build a home to be able to do it. I hear very consistently that the regulatory requirements, the surveying, the permitting is very expensive, up to $100,000 before ground is even broken on a $300,000 or $400,000 house. Also, we have very archaic land use restrictions that need to be revisited. We just need resiliency and problem solving in our elected representatives, because all of these problems can be solved and they're not. So you pick it, housing, workforce, all of these things. We're just not changing the approach. That's what we need. We need bold new leadership that is used to solving problems. And that's what I've been doing in my career, my legal career and my military career for over 30 years.
Now, we do have one of the largest supplies of natural resources and renewable resources in trees due to economic things and maybe some of the land use things you were talking about. We now have a glut of timber and stuff waiting. What needs to happen in order to get that process moving so that we can get back to maybe getting into some of our forests and thinning them out a bit?
Yeah, we need leadership that is serious about solving problems. This has been an ongoing challenge for decades. It started with the spotted owl alleged reason for stopping the access of our timber. Turns out that was the barred owl that was killing the spotted owl. But the point is, now they're all burning alive. We need to get we need action, not just constant examination of the problems. So there was a bill that was recently passed by the U.S. House of Representatives called Fix Our Forests Act. And there's a press release and comments on my website, moniqueforcongress.com. I would have supported that bill. I would have joined that bipartisan bill that passed. All the Republicans, 55 Democrats, including Nancy Pelosi, supported and passed that bill, but Val Hoyle voted against it. That's because she's beholden to unions, firefighting unions, and other parties that are interested in fires and not accessing the timber. So anyway, I would have supported that bill, and that's a transformative bill to really get serious about preventing wildfires. One of the many solutions in that bill is to reduce frivolous litigation, which is great progress. But that's an example of the contrast between Val Hoyle and myself, that we have to support legislation that starts to solve the problem. of course. So also, I've recently been endorsed by Citizens for Sensible Forest Management, and that's because of my campaigning all year long. I am genuine in my concerns for these wildfires that are decimating our forests, and we need to access those resources responsibly so we can build houses, so we can start preserving the wildlife that is burning alive now. And it just, on so many levels, it's just the answer to start resolving the wildfire problem and not just bring in federal tax dollars to put out fires. And we're actually not even effectively putting out the fires. 2 million acres burned in Oregon this year, the highest burn in recorded history. So even the billions of dollars that are going toward firefighting are not even getting the job done.
I was speaking with the Republican candidate for Oregon Attorney General yesterday. He said one of his issues that he wants to deal with is the fentanyl and methamphetamine dropping point that Oregon has become. As a congresswoman, what could be done from your standpoint to try to curb some of that illegal activity that's been going on?
I am so hopeful that Will Lathrop will successfully secure that attorney general seat. Imagine a world where I'm your federal representative in the 4th district and Will Lathrop is the attorney general. These cartels that are in our district will not feel welcome. And, back to the timber resources, one of the reasons that's so important is the receipts of those timber resources that are part of healthy forest management funded law enforcement in our district. And we're getting like less than 90%, like down to 10% of the receipts. It's just shocking, the just complete seizing of our resources for law enforcement. So as your federal representative, I can bring in federal dollars. We do have federal agencies that support drug interdiction and the fighting high intensity drug trafficking agency. It's a resource that protects I-5 a bit, but Highway 101 is wide open. I want to bring resources to our sheriffs down in Curry and Coos and all along the coast. Lane County on the coast, all of it needs support so that our sheriffs and other law enforcement and first responders are able to tackle this. And Will Lathrop is absolutely right. You know that Oregon's got the highest fentanyl death rate of any state in the union. It's just unacceptable. But you never even hear our congresswoman talk about it. If you go look at the voters pamphlet insert that was due in August, before I think she felt like she had any competition, she doesn't even mention the word fentanyl or homelessness or crime or even the housing crisis. It's, that's the true Val Hoyle. It's just not an issue for her. We need bold leadership that just demands that the fentanyl stop coming into our state and killing our citizens.
So I don't know what the current rate is of voters that have turned in their ballots already, but there are still a significant. I'm one that hasn't turned mine in yet. I need to do that this weekend. What's your final pitch to those who are still waiting to vote?
Well, you just can't expect anything to change if you don't vote and you don't pay attention to who you're electing to represent you. All of the things we're experiencing, the cost of living, the crime, the open border that's fueling everything we see in our neighborhoods, those are all policy driven. Val Hoyle has voted for everything that we're experiencing. She's a party rubber stamp, and I have vowed not to be a party stamp to the Republican Party. I want to be an independent voice for Oregon in Washington, D.C. The things we just talked about are unique to Oregon, and somebody needs to stick up for us here. So if you want that, if you want to see change, you have to vote. And it's so easy to vote in Oregon. Now, I know there have been some problems in some of the counties. And so if you don't have your ballot by now, you need to go into your local county elections office and get your ballot there. I'm looking for the website for checking your vote. Let's see, OregonVotes.gov/Monique My Vote. You can check your registration status and track your ballot. But if you don't have a ballot yet, go to your county election office today. If you want change, you have to step up and be part of it. And I just really encourage people to take that responsibility.
That's right. Time is running out. Monique DeSpain is running for the 4th District Congress. And Monique, good luck. Tuesday, we'll should know the answers, if latest Wednesday morning. So good luck to you.
Thank you, George. Thank you. Have a good day.